Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you're having an amazing, blessed, and glorious day today. Today, we're going to jump right in. We got lots to cover. It's pretty exciting. So, we've started all this wisdom with the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And that has been a real awesome verse and rich with goodness. And so, now we're going to move on to wisdom. What is wisdom and how do we get it? So, here we go. Godly wisdom, and that's the wisdom we're trying to get, is godly wisdom, not the world's wisdom. Godly wisdom is contrary to the world's way of doing things, but it is truly natural. God has put his word on the inside of us, so it isn't something that is hidden, but we do need to flush it out. So it seems contrary to the world, but truthfully it's working naturally, it's working with us. And so how do we know if it's godly or not? What kind of wisdom? If we're looking for godly wisdom, how do we know if it is or isn't? And that's kind of we need to test everything, right? For godly principles. And so today we're going to talk about godly principles mostly operate by seed, time, and harvest. This is a great way to look at how does God work, how does he operate, and what is true wisdom. And it almost always is seed, time, and harvest. That is perfectly natural. A farmer puts a seed in the ground, there takes some time, and then there's a harvest. You give generously, there's some time, and then you get a harvest. You learn something, you take time to learn something, and then you put it into practice and you get the harvest of it. Everything, not well, most everything works by seed time and harvest. And really what that is an investment principle, the principle of investment. It takes time to to you have to invest, which means you have to sacrifice up front. It takes some time, but then you get it in the end. If you invest money wisely, some time goes by and then you reap a harvest. And really this principle is discomfort first, but satisfying pleasure later. If I go work out, it is going to be uncomfortable up front. But then after I do it, I am going to feel a lot better. See, the world works by pleasure first, but then long term pain later. I don't have to work out. I can go sit on the couch and watch some TV, but then I'm going to feel bad later. My body is going to start not working. It's not going to feel good. And then long term, that is going to be a problem. I can eat the cookie now and feel really good for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to swallow, and then it's going to be gone, and then I'm going to have to deal with the consequences in my body, right? Or I can eat something healthy now. It's not very comfortable, but then my body will feel good, my brain will be clear. That is it. It's pain and pleasure, but God's way is discomfort first, long-term satisfaction later, versus the world's way of pleasure first and then long-term pain later. Now this principle works every single time, but I'm not going to say every single time because sometimes good things happen right away and that is good. But so anyway, your action step for today is I want you to look back in your life and see when this principle has worked for you. When have you known that you did the right thing up front, even though it wasn't comfortable, but the harvest or the consequence later was enriching and it was fulfilling and it really brought life into you? Versus when have you done something that you know you shouldn't have done it, but you knew it was going to feel good at the time, and then later it caused major issues in your life. And there's so many things. And so that's a principle we can use to know if something's godly or not, is that principle of seed time and harvest. Discomfort first, godly pleasure later versus pleasure first and pain later. You guys have a great and amazing, blessed day. Awesome.